Okay, the next section we are going to cover is over policies and procedures for HMS, Holt Middle School, top of page 7. Parents and students are encouraged to read and become familiar with both the district and the Holt handbooks. And this is your Holt handbook here in your agenda. Attendance. Absences. Please refer to the 2016-2017 Parent Information Handbook for all Fayetteville secondary schools, 5.7 absences for the board-adopted attendance policies. So they can go online to that Parent Information Handbook. Tardies. Students arriving late to school after the 7:40 tardy bell must report to the office for a tardy slip. So if you come to my advisory and you don't have a tardy slip, I'm going to send you back down to the office to get one. Holt's tardy policy will follow the district policy as outlined in Board Policy 5.7. So again, we can find that policy online. Bottom line, what you need to know about that is be here if you can be here and you're not really sick or something serious isn't going on. If something serious is going on and making it to where you cannot come to school, please communicate that with your teachers. Tardies, be on time. It's hard. It's early. You got to be here on time. Truancy. Students are required to be in their assigned designated places at all times within the school day. This includes lunch, hallways, classroom, and outside the building. Truancy will be dealt with as a disciplinary issue. So if you're coming in my class late, you have a W. It's an expectation that you are walking in the class with the rest of our classmates. So truancy means late, and if you are late all the time, that's going to be a W. Early checkout, so your parents coming to pick you up early. Students will be released only to parents or adults assigned by the custodial parents on the student emergency information card. For safety and traffic concerns, parents needing to check their students out before the end of the school day must do so by 2:30, because if you come and pick your kid up after 2:30, we're loading up with people that are trying to pick their kids up at 2:45 for the end of the school day, and you're going to have a hard time getting in and out. Exceptions will be made only in cases of emergency. So if something serious happens, of course, we're going to find a way to get you in and out. Bus transportation. Fayetteville Public Schools offers its patrons extensive transportation services. It should be understood, however, that riding the school bus is a privilege, not a right. For the safety and well-being of all, proper behavior on the school bus is mandatory. In general, Holt Middle School will follow the policy conduct to and from school as outlined in the Student Parent Policies and Procedures Handbook. FPS will deal aggressively with students whose conduct is judged to be distracting to the bus driver or posing a potential threat to physical and emotional safety and well-being of others. So if you're doing something to keep that bus driver from driving that bus safely, or if you're doing something to hurt somebody else while you're on the bus, that's going to be a serious problem, and you will be dealt with in a very serious manner. Some of these actions include fighting, bullying, throwing objects, standing and moving around the bus. Students guilty of such misbehaviors must be suspended from the school bus services for a period of up to 1 full school year. In addition to bus suspension, other school consequences may ensue. How horrible that your parents would have to find a way to get you to school when it's already difficult for them for one reason or another anyway. You need to make sure that you are doing everything you can to respect that ability to get on a bus and get to school easily. So please be respectful in the way that you behave once you get on that school bus. Note, students will only be permitted to ride their assigned bus unless written permission from the transportation department has been secured. So you must come with a note. Emergency closing. For information about school closings due to emergencies or inclement weather like snow, check local television and radio stations. The fastest and most accurate information is available on the FPS website, http://fayr.net. To help keep our phone lines open for emergency calls, parents are urged not to call the school to see if schools are closing. So check our website, don't call. Emergency drills. Fire drills. Monthly fire drills are an important safety precaution and are required by law. It is essential when the fire alarm sounds that all students exit the building by prescribed and posted routes as quickly as possible. So follow your teachers at that time. Students should not carry anything with them and should not talk. No one is to return to the building until receiving an all-clear signal from an administrator. Note, any student caught tripping a fire alarm as a prank will be subject to severe disciplinary consequences, including appropriate legal action. So that could be very, very serious. Please do not do something like that. Tornado drills. Tornado drills are conducted 4 times per school year. They are announced over the intercom, and students will be instructed where to go and how to assume an emergency position so as to be safe as possible. So you are just going to listen for the directions, listen to your teacher, and do what you're told in a tornado drill. Lockdown drills. Lockdown drills are conducted 2 times per year. Students will be trained how to respond when a school is lockdown is announced. I can tell you in my rooms, we're going to get on the wall where we can't be visible from any of the windows. We turn the light off. We cover the windows. We make sure that the green or red slip is in the door. Remember, green slip is if everything's okay, everybody's fine. Red slip is if somebody's hurt or something is not right going on in the room. We are in lockdowns advised to use our best judgment. And we know that if there's a threat that is all the way on the other side of the building, there might be a good chance that if there's a weapon involved and we know what's going on, there might be a good chance that evacuating the building would be the best option for your class. Or maybe ducking down in the corner is the best option for your class. So again, in a lockdown, your best move is to follow your teacher's directions. Make sure you are listening, make sure you are quiet, make sure you are waiting for orders, because that teacher is going to make the safest and wisest decision for you in your life at that time. So really, as serious as it is, make sure that you are following the directions of the adult who is in charge of you at that time. Earthquake and evacuation drills. These drills are conducted 1 time per year. Students will be trained how to respond when these drills are announced. And this kind of evacuation is if there's like a water pipe leak or a gas leak or something like that where we need to get out of the building, but we don't necessarily have to like get as far away from the building as possible. So we wouldn't be like running over to Holcomb. We would just be getting everybody out of the building. Field trips. We love field trips. Field trips can be an important and enriching part of a student's educational experience. A student's conduct on a field trip must meet or exceed the same standards as in the classroom. So you need to be as well behaved, if not better, than you are when you're in the classroom. Students with N and or U citizenship ratings may be excluded from field trips and other more unstructured school functions. For the safety, enjoyment, and well-being of all, it is essential that students be able to follow adult directives and treat others with respect. So if you're not showing good citizenship inside of our building, we're not going to take you outside of the building. And even if you get to go, you must make sure that you are following all teacher directives. Parents will be notified if their child is to be excluded from such an event. Field trip permission forms will be handed out at the beginning of the school year, and each student must have one signed by a parent or legal guardian before he can participate in a field trip. Teachers will notify parents of field trips in their team newsletters or in the Tuesday folders. Another good place that you can find field trip notifications is on my class calendar of that month. You can also find it on my website if that is updated at the time. So really, there's multiple avenues of where you can get that information.
Teachers, just a little bit of the update on the schedules. We are down to less than, I believe, 3, and we should be good to go for 6th grade tomorrow. We will have those schedules, we believe, be able to be printed in your boxes by advisory so that we can go in there and maybe just a slow rotation in the first period tomorrow just to make sure we get everybody in the right place. But that said, we've got about a little bit less than, I think, maybe 3 or so to go. And we have some little changes and some little wrinkles here and there. We have some cross-packing is how we had to solve.
We'll go ahead and end this section right here, and I'll continue with a new video.
Send an email to you.